What's happening?
It's the Turks, man. Back at it with another banger. We got hoop venue and how the Lakers became an elite defense, man. Let's get straight into it.
The Lakers have won 18 of their last 22 games and are now the second seed out west. About half of that stretch happened after making the blockbuster trade for Luka Doncic, including a current 7-game streak that featured the Nuggets, Mavs, Timberwolves, and 2 games.
Let's go ahead and clear this up now. I despise the Lakers.
Of the Clippers. With a team that's built around 2 offensive juggernauts in Luka and LeBron, and a third offensively oriented player in Austin Reeves,
NBA's
you
rigged,
think
bro.
that these wins are a result of
Not even supposed to be
outgunning
happening,
teams
bro.
with their scoring.
You gotta blame the Nico nigga, bro.
Been quite the
I
opposite.
blame Alex
On
Turner.
January 23rd, they went up against Boston,
How
and in
Kobe
that
and Chris
game,
Paul
their
go through
attention
this
to
field.
detail on the defensive end was unlike anything we'd seen from this group
Mid-season,
before.
Luka.
That continued against the Warriors, and then
They
the
traded
Hornets,
AD.
then against the Sixers,
No
Anthony Davis
logical
went
nigga
down
is
with an
like-
injury.
That's
and
what I'm
many
saying. This
people,
had to be
myself
tampering, bro.
included,
No
wondered how they'd
human
be able
being
to
is
make
doing
up
that on
that
earth
ground
besides
without
that.
one of the best defenders in the league.
You're not even
Then
doing
on
that. You're not even the
February
GM.
1st against the Knicks,
Oh, I
they
know
had
I'm
one
not.
of their best
So how is
defensive
this nigga doing that and he
performances
gets
of
paid
the
for
season,
this?
showcasing a
How do
new
you allow this to
strategy that was
happen?
built on
Bro.
utilizing their versatility and speed,
Doesn't make
as
sense,
opposed to relying on a rim protector like Davis to
sense.
What
clean
you
up
mean?
all
It was the
of
same
their
thing you thought. You
mistakes.
thought it was a win now. You thought it was
But
gonna win now.
still, though, like...
You gotta remember, you was thinking the exact same thing. You was thinking win now.
But
oh,
I
it
thought
was
for
gonna
the
work.
future it was bad.
But you thought for right now is good. That's probably why you did it. It's just ass because it didn't work at all. It went terrible. That's why it's just ass. I don't even think the NBA
But
is ready
even
to
me
think of
thinking
numbers.
like, okay, it could work now. Me as a GM would never. Even like, who even takes that risk though?
Nico Harrison, bro.
That is just so dumb. But I guess it's dumb in hindsight, looking at it now. But it still was dumb. I was just trying to see both perspectives. Was I wrong?
That game in New York is when they proved that they could defend at a high level without AD, and in every game since then, they've continued to prove that point. As I mentioned, that game against Boston was the shift, and they've played in 18 games dating back to that point. In those 18 games, they've held opponents to less than 109 points every 100 possessions, which is actually number 1 in the NBA.
You can't tell.
Don't
It's
get me
crazy,
wrong,
bro.
It's not like they completely lack good defensive personnel. Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith both look awesome and are 2 of the better wing stoppers in the league. As is
Ain't working out
40-year-old
very
LeBron James, who decided to turn back the clock and put together his best stretch of defense in half a decade, which should not go unnoticed whatsoever. But with those wings, they do also have some weak links. Luka really lacks foot speed, so he's a guy who struggles to stay in front of the ball in space. Reeves also tends to struggle containing ball handlers at the point of attack at times, and although he works hard and plays physical, he is a mismatch down low for bigger wings and forwards. The same applies to Dalton Connect when he's in the game, and the Lakers have been putting out a decent amount of lineups with at least 2 of these guys on the floor together. Traditionally speaking, defenses would cover for these types of guys by playing cleanup at the rim. My mind immediately goes to the 2021 Jazz. They had very little perimeter resistance, so they implemented a system that ran shooters off the line and funneled the ball into Gobert under the basket. The Lakers don't have the luxury of a Rudy Gobert type of player, though. Jackson Hayes has been awesome, but he's pretty much the only big who's consistently in their rotation, and he isn't that type of interior presence. So they've instead opted for more of an Eric Spoelstra Miami Heat style of defense, with the entire team working together positionally to protect the paint. Priority number 1 for this Lakers defense is to not let the ball touch the middle of the floor. So, much like the Heat, they've shown a willingness to consistently fall back into a 3-2 zone. When Harden sets up atop of the key isolation, not only does he have to worry about help sitting in the gaps near both wings, LeBron is waiting at the free throw line for a drive, so pretty much all he has access to is a tough off-the-dribble jumper. This time it's Kawhi who's looking to play one-on-one, and Luka sitting on a right-hand drive, while Vando aggressively plays the nail against a left-hand drive. He doesn't overcommit though, so he's able to get back to Harden without giving up an advantage.
So what do you do to beat this
Then
team
they
right
get
here?
back to
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm drawing up a play and I'm coach, I'm see this 3-2. I give the ball to Kawhi. Space. Bring Zubac to the middle. That forces Luka to commit. Now you have a right hand drive with Kawhi. Or you can give ball to middle to Zubac. He cuts down. Now Zubac has to be able to hit that mid range. If they commit, then he cuts. Derek, I think his name Derek Jones.
And he slides down.
Yeah, he cuts down. Backside dunk.
If he catches the ball middle.
Yeah.
But they're not getting the ball middle.
Why they're not?
Because
then Harden can space, and that's an open three. Because someone's going to have to commit. Because they're in a zone. They're not playing man.
So you're saying if he slides up, Luka will have to trail here.
And if Luka trails there, that's a right-hand drive with Kawhi. That's his Vincent. That's a post-up. Now your whole side is you.
Nah, because he's going to slide down.
That's backside.
He's going to slide down. I'm
pretty sure he slides down, and Harden's open.
Well, let's just keep watching the video because this is clearly not working.
So he's able to get back to Harden without giving up an advantage. Then they get it back.
They're not sending
Kawhi
nobody to
for
the middle. They're playing 5 out against a zone.
Zubac can't shoot.
And that's why it's going to have to be a mid-range, like a big that can hit middies. That's the only way it's going to work.
So if you have a big like this, what's going to happen?
It won't be able to work. But think about it. You can send anyone who can shoot to the middle. It don't necessarily have to be a big.
No, you can't.
Why you can't?
In NBA?
It's a zone. Most niggas in the league are tall anyway. So if you send a shooter to the middle, they'll be able to hit. That's what I think. They're in the zone. They're not in man.
Isolation, and when he instead tries to
they're trying to
baseline,
beat a zone
right
off the dribble. That doesn't make any sense.
Even when they aren't in that 3-2 zone, though, their set man-to-man defense functions in the same way. They like to do a lot of peel switching, meaning that on a play like this, where Chris Dunn moves into Bogdanovich for a quick drive, Luka's going to stay in the middle of the floor to pick up the ball and take away any angle to the rim. Something else they like to do is abandon non-shooting threats. We've seen a lot of teams in the past let weaker shooters take the open three, but I'm not sure we've ever seen a team this aggressive
That's
with
just
it.
disrespect. You just gotta make the shot.
As a weak shooter on the floor, whoever's supposed to be guarding him is only worried about defending the middle, which completely clogs up driving lanes and forces ball.
At this point, bro, I think the Lakers defense is just, bro, fuck everybody else. Who's the star, bro?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like, bro.
Notice how Luka
Who's the star, bro?
I feel like Jada's like, we're gonna make their role players beat us. Like I can hear him saying that. Like,
which is
we're
makes
not
sense.
gonna let the star score. We're gonna make the role players win.
Yeah, which makes sense.
So
right where Gabe Vince is parked on the elbow to double. Then when it gets moved to dunk,
that's why I guess the
make
Nuggets
no
this shit's
effort
not
whatsoever
working.
to
Yeah, in the
close
playoffs,
that
no.
space. This was basically the story of both
At least we
games
hope
against
it
the
does.
Clippers. Wherever Dunn went on the floor,
having an off
nobody
night.
followed him, and as a result, they weren't just able to sit in the gaps and protect the middle. They were able to send all sorts of doubles and
what
traps.
makes this hell is that it gives Luka time to breathe, which is not good
But
for
the
the
Lakers acted as if he never shot a basketball before, not just ignoring him, but blatantly leaving him on an island to prevent guys like Kawhi or Harden from getting anything clean. It wasn't just the Clippers who struggled with this, though. They did the same thing against the Mavs with Kessler Edwards, abandoning him on the wing to take away potential driving lanes. When it wasn't Edwards, it was Najee Marshall. Notice how Luka's instincts tell him to close out, but he deliberately stops.
That's
the
so
momentum because
disrespectful.
they want Marshall to
Oh
take
my
the
God.
free. And they also did
This
it
look
by
like
James
me at
Dante
boundaries,
Exum,
bruh.
who ended up shooting
Letting the
2
trash
for 7?
3 in just 11
Oh my
minutes.
gosh.
Against the Nuggets, it was either one of Russell Westbrook or Aaron Gordon who they let empty the clip in hopes of
Oh my
Jokic.
gosh, yo.
So
Hey, leave me
offense
open.
can't
I ain't
really
gonna lie.
create any downhill
Isn't hitting that?
pressure
All that
when
pressure?
they're playing from up top.
You're not gonna let me shoot
When they
7
play
threes,
from
bro.
deep
While
on the
booty
wing
nigga open.
or in an empty
7.
corner, the Lakers have
And think I'm not gonna hit how many?
tactics to shut
I'm at least
off
hit
the
2,
paint.
bro. 2.
Like I said earlier, whoever's defending the ball is going to angle
making
their
them niggas
body
pay. They
to
do that
force
to
the
me, bro.
attack baseline. Well, when there's nobody in the corner, that means
This is what I was
help has to
talking
come
about.
From the other.
What?
This is what I was talking about. Remember you said drive right with Kawhi. If what's his name was to slide up middle, and then Luka was to help middle.
Right.
That's what just happened pretty much.
Baseline.
So he slides basically.
Run it back a little bit more. Okay, right here.
Some
Right there.
tactics to shut off the paint. Like I said earlier, whoever's defending the ball is going to angle their body to force the attack
Fake the
baseline.
DHO.
Well, when there's nobody in the corner, that
Nobody's
means
middle.
help has to come from the other side of the floor.
But what would middleman do? Say somebody was here, right? Say who is this? Oh yeah, that doesn't even matter. Because whoever this is probably gonna get left open.
This is a little bit different because Vince is not on the court. So I was gonna eat off of Vincent.
Gabe Vincent?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, I didn't even know he was on the floor last time.
Yeah.
In the corner, that means help has to come from the other side of the floor. So a staple of this Lakers defense is to send the low man over from the weak side early to load up on a baseline drive, which takes away both potential angles.
Yeah, and they're long
This
enough to
allows
really
them to
get there.
get away with switching anyone onto the ball.
Like,
Like, you put somebody in the middle, bro, that's just getting took.
If you're taking away the middle,
Especially if it's a guard, a forward in the middle, bro.
Some teams will try to attack the
not.
setup by putting
So
a
why
lot
has
on the
no
opposite.
NBA team put a forward in the middle?
Bro, I don't know. I just know that if you want to beat a zone, you're not beating a zone off of isolation basketball.
Nah.
It's just not happening.
No.
It's not, bro.
You gotta swing and cut.
You have to swing and cut and send someone middle and at least make them commit.
Facts, so you can swing off.
So you can swing opposite. That's the only way you beat a zone. You do not. We grew up knowing this. You can't beat a zone by isolation. It just doesn't work.
That's true. I don't know, bro.
Block, and that's why it's imperative that in addition to the first weak side defender
Bro,
cheating over,
I don't know what he
the
expects
low
to
man
get right
drops
here.
to protect
A
the rim
zone.
and blow up that pass.
Not man.
For that reason, this strategy completely falls apart if just one piece of the puzzle is missing. On this one, Luka angles his body to force an attack towards the corner, but the weak side help is late getting over and they give up a layup. And this time, the weak side help gets over in time to load up early and shut off the drive, but the third defender doesn't come over to take away the paint, which again leads to a layup. However, the buy-in and attention.
But you see how it's breaking faster with it? That's what I'm saying. You see what just happened? Those last two plays.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to do if you want to beat a zone, coaches. Whoever, who's that? Jason Kidd? See, he's a PG. Send someone middle.
Incredible across the
Even though he
board,
missed, that's the
so
best
these
shot you're gonna get.
breakdowns have been few and
Middle,
far
backside,
between.
or
As a
skip. That's
result
the
of not
best thing you're gonna
having
get
the
against the zone.
most imposing interior
Clippers, I don't know who coaching
presence,
y'all.
you'll
That's
have to
Ty
live
Lue,
with a
bro.
big like Zubac
You got
occasionally
harder trying to-
Well, that's
getting
on
the
them,
ball
bro.
going
That's
down
just on
low.
them, bro. Because
But
they
when the
I think
scheme
all their buckets
works
are
as
sloppy.
intended, you can ideally take away the drive and the dunker, meaning that the only available option is a skip pass. Then you can rely on that speed to scramble and recover to the perimeter.
Not if you send someone
Remember,
middle.
though, they aren't worried about anyone who isn't a premier shooting threat. So on a play like this, where Luka and Reeves essentially trap Harden, and Derrick Jones Jr. is left on an island in the opposite corner, they're willing to give up the skip pass without closing out.
Your players gotta
as
be
they're
ready to
only
hit,
worried
bro.
about not giving up a drive. This idea of pushing the ball away from the middle and towards the baseline isn't exclusive to isolations. More times than not, when the offense tries to set up a pick and roll on the wing or with an empty corner, they're looking to ice the action. If you're unfamiliar with the term, that means the point of attack defender is going to position their body to force the action towards the sideline, where the big is.
Let's see if this
sitting
works
in
against the
only
Celtics.
driving
They're gonna
lane,
shoot the mess out of
typically
this
in some
defense,
sort of
bro.
drop.
Okay, we gotta see this against
And
like
again,
a 5 out
this
of
is
10, like the
just another
Cavs.
way for them
I want to see this
to
against the
take
Cavs
away
themselves.
the
mess out of
by
this.
forcing the ball
You better
baseline
switch this
and
up,
having
boy.
a big wait to pick up the
It's a
handle.
counter to everything.
It's really tough to put pressure on the rim. NBA offenses use all sorts of different screening actions to create advantages, though. And the Lakers have a pretty specific coverage for each scenario. If an offense goes to one of their weaker shooters as the ball handler, they're going to go under every screen in hopes that they can bait them into taking an offense dribble jumper. If an offense uses a wing as a screener instead of the big, they're going to switch every time so that they can always keep a body in front of the ball. And if that screening wing also
Kawhi had
happens to
33.
be a non-shooting threat, not only
Kawhi had
can they
33
switch,
this game, I
that
think.
second defender is going to abandon the weaker shooter to take away the middle. As for off-ball
the Lakers
screens,
piss me
most
off.
commonly
They're
set
doing-
for
it's a good
movement
defense, though.
shooters, they're also going to switch all of those. to
Simply
not
because
let them
NBA
get
teams aren't even
free
used
on
to
the
playing against
three-point
zones.
line, forcing them to create off the catch.
Oh,
It's
he
some
just
more
played
college.
man.
Yeah, it's like some more college
When he
type
sets a
of
screen for
defense.
Hield, Vincent's going to switch onto him. Then when he turns and runs off a screen from Draymond, Rui switches onto him,
Man,
and he ends up with a
working, bro.
semi-contested look from
Curry
outside.
could have passed that to them.
Something
He
you'll notice
literally
is
could've made an
basically
extra pass. I
never
don't even know
put
why he
two
did
on
that.
the ball in screening
It's Curry.
situations. That really stands out when
Yeah,
they're
living
defending
out at
spread
three, bro.
pick and
That's the
roll,
curse
because
with
the
it.
big is almost always going to sit back in a drop while everyone else plays the gaps.
Damn.
But it's not a traditional
He
drop
put it right to
coverage
him.
because Hayes is constantly making a read. If the point of attack defender is able to get around the screen without getting stuck, Hayes will stay back in that drop and let him
I swear that's a makeable shot.
no,
I swear to God
that's a
it
good
is,
shot.
bro.
That's a good shot.
Like,
or
bro,
he's taken out
it's
of
not
the
the
play,
defense that's doing
then
it.
Hayes is going to commit to the ball and they're going to switch.
If this is the first game,
This works
Quiet
because
did trash.
Hayes is
If it's second
really
game,
good
Quiet
at
3.
defending in space. He moves his feet super well, he's got good hit mobility, and he has the length to contest jumpers.
I can't wait till
Harden?
the playoffs,
See the same
bro.
for Trey
Oh my
Jemison,
gosh,
though.
bro.
With Rui out for both Clippers games,
Can't wait till the
Jemison had
playoffs.
to
Yeah,
step
Kawhi had
in,
33 is
and he wasn't nearly as effective on those switches.
But Kawhi probably had
This
33
doesn't
because Rui was
concern me at
out.
all, because when Rui's in the lineup and they've got all of their guys, those non-Hayes minutes are typically going to be small ball, where they'll really lean into that versatility by switching every action.
Damn,
we
Jesus,
saw
we need
all
that,
of
bro.
these concepts work together beautifully
Y'all
against
niggas
the
needs
Nuggets.
to get in the gym
One
now.
of the biggest concerns with this Lakers defense was size and how they handle a guy like Jokic, and they
got
one
some
of the
dogs
best
up there on his own,
individual
though.
defensive
That's some
games
scary
on him
shit.
that we've ever seen. They went
That's the defense used to run at
they
Main
switched
Street,
every
sixth grade
action,
year.
then they front him in the post while having the weak side defender cheat
Dylan,
over
Ralph,
to deny
OJ.
him the touch. And
bro.
anytime
6
he
foot.
was able
That
to
was
get the
deep.
ball in the post, they'd immediately
That was
come
deep. That
with
was
one of those
beautiful.
aggressive
That was
doubles
two.
from the
Oh my
weak
God.
side, while the
If it was
low
now,
man slid
that
down
team
to
would be
take
ranked.
away the dunker.
Like,
As a result,
the same
they were
team,
able to
but
hold
like,
Jokic to
like,
just
but this,
7
like,
shot
society,
attempts and 6
that
turnovers
team would be,
in a
like, way more
23-point
known.
win, where they held Denver's scorching hot offense to just 100
Coach
points.
Davis is our coach.
So they've built a defensive scheme that completely shuts
I
off
was
both
sixth grade,
drives and
too.
post-ups and
Let
forces
me have
weak
been,
shooters
like,
to beat them from
eighth?
outside. As a result, teams just
Me coming
simply
off the
haven't
bench?
been able to score unassisted twos against them. Again, using those last 18 games, they've allowed just 19.5 points to unassisted twos every
Is this
100
before we got Jimmy
possessions,
Butler?
while no other team in
That was
the
before we had
NBA
Jimmy
is
Butler.
Yeah, it might
even
be.
below 22.
I want to see Jimmy against that
Typically,
zone
when you're
actually. What
selling
he
out
would do.
on unassisted twos,
Getting
that
fouls,
means you're
bro.
abandoning the three-point line. But
Jimmy
remember,
gets to that
they
line,
aren't
bro. All this
letting
don't
good
matter,
shooters
bro.
get free, so they don't actually
see
end up losing a ton of points. Teams have shot just 32% from three against them in this stretch, and I'm sure some of that is due to shooting luck in a smaller sample, but they're consistently giving up tons of threes to guys who simply aren't reliable shooters.
Y'all keep doing that,
I
bro.
mentioned how Exum took 7 threes against them in just
This is
11
2016
minutes.
Warriors. We
In
shooting,
that same
boy.
game, Najee Marshall also attempted 5. In the most recent game against the Clippers, Chris Dunn attempted 5, including 3 misses near the end of the fourth.
Damn, bro.
In the Nuggets game, Gordon and Westbrook
Hey, I'm definitely
combined
letting
for
Westbrook shoot.
14 three-point attempts.
Oh
And
my
if you go
damn.
game by game over the stretch,
Think about
this
Westbrook when
is
he
a
make one, he
pretty
gonna start
clear
talking
trend.
crazy.
Man, that's gonna be the only one he
I
makes.
still do
That's
need
it,
to
bro.
see how this
That's
strategy works.
I thought
against
Dante Exum had
teams
a
who
strap,
don't
though.
play non-shooting wings before I make the claim that they'll be able to
Shot look
sustain
wonky
this
to
in
me.
the playoffs.
I could've sworn he had a
Some
strap,
names that come to mind
Yeah, don't
are
do that against
obviously
them.
the Celtics and Cavs in the East, but
He is
out
gonna
west
get
the
bad.
Grizzlies, and more importantly,
Same
the
with
Thunder
Thunder.
when
He'll
they
get
go
bad
to
with
their
them, too.
5-out looks.
Don't
Yeah.
do that
They
against
play the
them. I'm
Knicks
telling
on
you, you better
Thursday
draw something
and
else.
the Celtics on Saturday, so that'll be 2 good tests coming up. But as of right now, there's no reason to believe they aren't an elite defense.
No, they're good
The
defense.
scheme has been beautiful.
only seeing highlights
the
against, like,
buy-in
3
has
teams,
been
though, no cap.
amazing, and if they find a way to maximize the offense before April, there isn't a team in existence that would want to see them in a 7-game series. If you enjoyed this
Yeah,
breakdown,
doing that in
make
a
sure to
7-game
drop a
series
like,
probably would get
subscribe, and
agitated.
turn my post notifications on to be first on
Yeah,
more
at the same time,
content.
you still have to get
If you're
fried
in-
by Luca on defense, my nigga.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a problem.
Shout out Who Venue, bro. Good video, man.
Facts, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The Lakers are definitely a problem. But I ain't worried, bro.
I'm not worried either.
I'm not worried. I gotta see what my dog Jimmy do. I really gotta see. I think we play.
Yeah, when we play them, bro.
We play real soon, bro. I know for sure we play real soon.
We play them, bro. Seriously. I'm watching that full game, start to finish.
What the freak?
Nezuko.
Nezuko is crazy. Warriors vs Lakers next game. All right, why y'all don't want to tell me, bro?
We'll figure it out. I don't know. It's not popping up.
I know they're gonna tell me, bro. Like, just let me know. April 3rd.
April 3rd.
April 3rd, bro. So April 3rd, we'll see. About a month from now.
Mm-hmm.
A month from now, bro. Let's see if this works, man. Against the Warriors, bro. And if it does, Steve Kerr change some shit up. Hey, shout out Who Venue with another banger, man. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Leave some suggestions down there. Leave y'all thoughts down there. And it's your boy JT.
It's your boy Mike.
And we're gonna catch y'all on the next banger, man. Don't forget to
Shout out God.
shout out God, man.